look forward to playing Pittsburgh. We know that they're very, very well coached, great organization, and a good football team. And the playoffs, it really doesn't matter what you've done before. When we played, it's about now, and everything's a little faster in the playoffs and more aggressive. It's just how the nature of this thing and how it works. So we've got to make sure that we get ourselves right.
All right, that's a man who has lots of experience. That is a team that has been to the Super Bowl the last 2 seasons, and they're coming in as the 2 seed in the AFC. So whether it's Pittsburgh, which Andy Reid just talked about for their Sunday night matchup, or for the rest of the conference, or really just Kansas City themselves, what do you guys think is the biggest obstacle to the Chiefs' 3rd straight AFC title?
You know, everyone's picking the Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl that I'm seeing on TV, and it's like, well, it's the Chiefs. They've been there, they've done that, and they don't have the home field. They don't have a bye. The Titans are the 1 seed. So here we have the Chiefs that everyone is crowning as, you know, they've been there, done that. They've also been there and been done by other teams this season that they're going to face. Take a look at this. Look at some of the teams that are in the playoff picture and how the Chiefs fared against them this year. They got blown out at home against Buffalo on Sunday Night Football in one of the games where there was a big delay at halftime because of weather, and the Bills came out like, we're still going to beat you. They go to Tennessee, and it was 27-3. That was in Week 7. And then a couple weeks ago, going throw for throw with Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes in the second half scored 3 points and didn't do much. Like, these are the teams that they have to face moving forward. Now, the Steelers, they beat by a lot 2 weeks ago, and we get it. Like, it's going to be a tough one for the Steelers to go into there with with what they've got on offense. I don't know how they're going to be able to keep up with the Chiefs. But after that, you tell me that the Chiefs are playing the Bengals and it's a slam dunk, Chiefs? No. Titans? Bills? No way. Even the Patriots. The Patriots have beaten the Chiefs in recent years. Here's my point. These teams aren't scared of the Chiefs. The Chiefs are not the big, bad Chiefs anymore. They're not the mighty Chiefs. Now, yes, you respect the fact that they've won 2 straight conferences. You respect the fact that they have been to the AFC Championship game 3 years in a row. But a lot of those games were in Arrowhead. A lot of those games, like the Chiefs right now, they didn't blow the world on fire on Saturday. The Broncos had them. Like, the Broncos had them. You have Kelsey limping. You have Hill limping. You don't have 31 Williams. Like, I don't think the Chiefs have this aura of invincibility right now. So the obstacle for me is that you don't walk into the building 10-point favorites just because you wear that jersey and you've got Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. All those teams you're going to face, they've beaten you, and they've beaten you handedly this season.
To me, it's the team that kind of mimics them a little bit. It's the Cincinnati Bengals, the team that I'm most, if I'm the Chiefs, I'm most terrified of, right? You have young, fast receivers that can play. Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, running back in Joe Mixon. You have a quarterback that can make every throw and is not afraid to make every throw in any situation. And so if you think about it, they remind me more of the Chiefs when they were making their run a couple years ago, where it was like, ooh, like the Chiefs are pretty good. The Bengals aren't playing any games with anyone. This is the game. This is not even the best. This is not even the most disrespectful thing. I got to say disrespectful because it was a 3rd and 27.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs played press man, and he just threw a fade to Jamar Chase. Like, look, if you want to keep pressing my guy, I'm going to throw you the ball. They're not afraid of anyone, and they believe. And it's always scary when you have a young, inexperienced team in the playoffs. That was the play there. A young, inexperienced team in the playoffs. It's always scary because they don't know. They don't know that they don't know. It's kind of like a baby snake. You guys ever heard that? If you ever get bit by a baby snake,
what happens?
I'm sorry?
They put all the venom in you. Okay. They don't, like an older snake is going to give you just enough to set you down. Baby snake doesn't know that. He's just like, look, I'm going to give you everything I got. And that's what the Cincinnati Bengals are to me.
Baby snakes.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No, but
don't ever get bit by one.
Disgusted and
So mommy snake's like, you got to hold on to some of that poison. Maybe another adversary down the path.
Yeah.
Baby snake.
I'm going to give it all to you right here.
Yeah.
And then I'll worry about next time.
That's oddly relatable. I think in the AFC, there's no one who anybody is afraid of. Peter, why are you smirking?
Nothing. Go on.
Because you relate, too. No one relates. Never mind the relatable. Hold on, I got sidetracked.
God.
No one's scared of anybody. Here's how I feel. Peter, you went on to something. No one's afraid of the Chiefs. In my opinion, so you got the big 3, okay? Mahomes, does he scare you? There's a lot of really talented quarterbacks, and he's still really special. Kelsey, sure, but there's some other really good tight ends. What I'm scared of as a defense and a coordinator is Tyreek. Like, he still, I think, is the really unique one. And Tyreek right now is not Tyreek. If you watched him last week, he got banged up in pregame warmups and had a heel issue. He was barely out there. It didn't look like him. Some Chiefs fans were actually mad that he was out there at all in this game, and I get it. There's another thing with Tyreek. When is the last time on this program or any other program, even when he's healthy, that we've seen Tyreek chuck the deuces or backflip or do any of that stuff? It hasn't really happened. Now, here's the deal. He's had a very productive year. Like, the numbers are awesome. 111 catches, 1,200 yards. 111 catches for 1,200 is not the Tyreek that we have come to see. Tyreek is 80 catches for 1,200. It's huge plays. It's bombs away. He hasn't had a play of over 50 yards, which is his specialty since week 1. So, we're going to do some of these shootouts against whoever it may be, Buffalo or Cincinnati. I want that guy doing the shootout thing. I remember all these playoff runs they've had. There's always this crazy play by Tyreek, whether it's Indianapolis coming in back in the day or whoever it may be. Tyreek will make the Tyreek play, where it's like, we have number 10 and you don't, and he's the only player in the league who can do that. I just haven't seen that guy, and I don't know if he's banged up physically or if the defenses are adjusting, but if we're going into this and there's no juggernaut and there's no front runner and we're going to have to win these games 38-35, like, I think number 10 needs to be number 10, and he just has not been as explosive this year, and now he's banged up. So I think that is a difference maker, and I hope we don't have to see it play out that way.
It's a great point. They're still a great team.
They
could be the best team in the AFC, but the gap, to Peter's point, is significantly smaller. It's so heavy, AFC top to bottom here. We saw them beat up on teams like the Raiders and the Steelers. We've talked about that, but I mean, without Aaron Rodgers, it was 13-7. Like, they've struggled against top-tier teams. That was against, Love and company. Yeah. So it's those games that are kind of weird. Do you guys feel, when we're going to obviously make our choices for who wins these games on Friday, is it tougher than other years, like big time?
This game is tough to pick Pittsburgh. It really is. Yeah. As much as we respect what Pittsburgh's done, a great T.J. Watt game and Najee Harris has 150 yards. I mean, can you guys see this happening? It's. I think of all the games this weekend, and it'll have the fewest people pick the upset. And I mean, I don't see how I could do it. MJD, do you?
I feel like the offense of Pittsburgh has to go down the field. All this dinking and dunking, throwing quick slants and bubble screens, you can't do that against Kansas City. You got to go and put the pressure on them early. You got to take shots down the field, score
they ain't going
quickly.
down the field,
and that's not what they do. Yeah. So it's just going to be tough for me to see them go down there and be able to, to go into Kansas City and win.
The only team that they won't face is the 6th seed. So I'm trying to think who the 6th seed is, because that would mean that that's who Tennessee is going to play if they upset them, whatever. Mm-hmm. At some point next week, they're going to beat the Steelers, I think. And then the following week, it's going to be either Buffalo, Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm. It's on.
I mean, these are teams that can come in, or New England, who can come in there and can give them the business. So I'm not scared of them anymore.
Yeah, but I don't know, but is it because other teams leveled up? Because you can't say that, because all these teams have had bad losses against bad teams in the AFC, even though, or have Kansas City come down to them? What you're saying about Tyreek is like they're less dominant, but which way is it,
I think they've come down. Like, do we feel about the Chiefs like we did last year or the year? Absolutely not. And yet they're like, what do you want from us? We're still sitting here. Mm-hmm. We're going to the playoffs now. It's not going through Arrowhead this year. So that's a different deal. They're not the 1 seed, but I feel very comfortable saying I don't think this Chiefs team is as good as the last couple of years.